Hi, folks. This is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report. Called my buddy Rocky this morning down on the Salmon River. He's one of the most knowledgeable and highly positive energy people I've ever met. And I said, Rocky, tell me about what's happening right now. Are the steelheads still in the water? He said, no. But he said, I had a friend who was a British sailor that I've come to know, and fascinating life, but we're sharing our stories through fishing. And he says we got to experience a migration of smallmouth coming into the Salmon River. And he said, oh my gosh, the experience was incredible. They will move in. Smallmouth will move into an area like that. And it's amazing what they do. He says, we watched them. They started herded minnows against the shoreline. Minnows that were in the river, they started herding them and, of course, feeding on them. But they move in to spawn. But again, they can become an absolute dominator of that water. The steelhead have basically moved out now, and now the smallmouth are there. And he told me about how wonderful the fly fishing for these big smallmouth was. I said, tell me, what do you use? He said, well, one of my favorite streamers, and he says, I've told you about this before, it's called the White Death. But he said, there is a number of leeches in the Salmon River estuary. He says, I know because I put docks in there and I come out of the water, I'm covered in leeches. And these fish love leeches. So he said, anything that is like black or olive colored that resembles a leech can be a tremendous lure to use, bait to use. If it's a fly, then it's a fly. If you're using a jig or a woolly bugger or anything that resembles the food that they're going to eat. I said, Rocky, tell me, how long will these fish stay in the water? And we're talking about the Salmon River right now, but we can be talking about the Grass River, the Oswegatchie, the Raquette, the St. Regis, any of our rivers here where these smallmouth invade, whatever you want to call it. They come in and they move in to spawn, and then they will stay there. I said, how long will they stay there? He said, well, the biggest of all fish will return sooner to the big water because they need more oxygen. And as the water changes, as the water temperature goes up and so forth in the rivers, they will move out. But an awful lot of these fish will stay till July at least. Depends on the flow of the water temperature, the oxygen. But it also depends on what kind of food there is available for them to eat. So this is something that I think is interesting for all of us, no matter where we fish. If we fish these tributary rivers in the early part of the season, wow, it can be a chance for anyone that doesn't have a big boat to catch a big smallmouth. But as the season goes on, it still is a time when we can enjoy fantastic fishing, and a fish that is more acrobatic, stronger, has a greater reputation for fighting in power than almost any freshwater fish that swims. So I thank Rocky for the information, and again, I'm always learning new things. And the fact that those leech patterns can work so well is something I'm going to put in my arsenal to take the next time I go out on the water. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report.